the use of these superpowers of the light body is especially important in light body play, because as children are growing and learning to use their light body, they can use their light body in manners that are most akin to martial arts, especially Eastern martial arts, where the positions of the body are important and the actual motions of the body are important to be able to convey the types of light body energy, power, and what is seen in these light body positions and stances is a type of form, light body form, that allows the person with that light body to assume that light body position and form in the light body world and do the light body action or light body magic. And so what children learn in light body play is how to use their light body in manners which most children do, which is offensive and defensively. So from my point of view of being brought up in the tradition of the occult gazing into crystals, the problem of having to deal with sinister spirits meant that I had to learn techniques to protect myself, and that is how I developed the format of the Swords and Shields system of psychic self-defense. And the other types of formats or systems that are used around the world don't necessarily have to use this basically aggressive form of light body play. In fact, most of the religions stress a format of peace and attaining light body powers through non-aggressive manners. So in this, I would not disagree, but I just offer a different technique. And these techniques are based on psychic warfare, psychic self-defense, and the ability of the psychic player to be able to have confidence that they can go anywhere, anytime, and be able to defend themselves if they need to and get out of there if they have to. So in the psychic play, the psychic players are actually learning defense skills, survival skills, and skills that will enable them to be able to have power in the real world. And these real world powers that are attributable to the light body are nothing other than the types of confidence and coincidence that allow people to advance more effortlessly. In a more primitive and indigenous society, the types of occupations were more limited, and the type of energy and interchange and ability of people to assist each other became much easier, and extended families and extended communities allowed people to be able to share light body experience and be able to overcome problems peacefully through negotiations and compromises and all types of political and reliance on the grandfathers and grandmothers to be able to come up with the best solution through the lineage. And what the people were able to do in cases was to form a bonding that allowed people in that group to, through their religious practices, whatever they were, to come to realization of their light body abilities, the places their light body could go, the place that they were together as light bodies in their community. They're in a relationship as light bodies, and they, because of that interrelationship, the people within a light body community can sense when somebody is hurt or ill or not mentally within the light body community and may be a problem. So these types of things of light body consciousness that lead to peace and understanding of God and one's place in the world and one's place in the universe are less aggressive than other types of pursuits. Light body games, one might say, can be passive or aggressive, and those going are trying to attain high spiritual or godly understanding and connection and love will undoubtedly find that if they so pursue that with such of their capabilities. And though it may take time and great perseverance, those things are definitely capable to the light body aspirant. So the person that is an apprentice light body worker has is recommended to learn light body play as the first thing. And these, what I would suggest in my format of play is the actual types of games that children play, which is, in fact, you can see where just pressing one's, pushing against one's aura, and then pushing against the other person's light body, and then in fact, the whole process has to be visually demonstrated. But what occurs is that individuals are able to, without touching each other, affect each other's light body and learn from that. So people learn these types of skills, and some people have them naturally. Some people have the ability to use their light body to manipulate vibrations or attitudes or the ambiance of the room, or even make contact with pets or kitties or animals, and to be able to communicate in a way that only light body allows, and or that light body allows. Some of the first games that a light body apprentice would learn would how to, in fact, defend themselves from light body attack. And these types of defensive mechanisms or tools are usually defined as shielding and as shells, and as forms that protect the light body, or the person and the light body, from damage, from attack. When imagine if you're not out there being mean and all and attacking everybody else, then why should you be attacked? The answer is things like that happen. And if you are able to attain the higher levels of consciousness and such, you are not really bothered by lower manifestations, yet in the, of those things. But if you are not there, you do have challenges, and those challenges are best met through being prepared for them. And the preparation for those types of challenges is part of being aware in all your reality. That means being aware in your mind, in your everyday life, but also in your dream life, and in your fantasy life, and in your light body life. And so when you are learning light body, you're learning how to actually be part of many worlds. And the person who is a light body player is playing in many worlds. And the difference between light body play and light body work is, you're doing about the same thing, except the light body work is usually part of a mission that you are trying to accomplish, that is either given to you or is something that you choose to do. And is in your mission, and as a light body worker, it may be the problem of a physical problem of a patient that needs to be solved. That would be the mission. And the light body worker would in fact be take what energies they can from the situation, from their and be able to open up a portal around the diseased area and do the light work in order to cure the patient. So in this type of use of this light body magic, the light body worker has a type of play that is in fact it's just part of the reality that healing occurs because it is something that is good, something that is right, something that will occur because it should occur. And the thing about light body is that it can detect what is good and what is not, and be able to separate that because of the vibrational intensity of the light body is able to in fact cause separations of malignancies and other things from the regular tissue and bring it through in and out of the body through the transmission into light body world and out into physical world again, where it's expelled outside the patient. And the other healing processes that must go on within are continued on the light body, but continued in a way that may not be visible to the light body practitioner, but is part of the light body work as well. As the patient has their body return to normal reality, the light body reality is in fact has to take an exit, and in this exit there may be a sensation, a tingling, an energy, a warming, and what is occurring is that the healing is taking hold or changing, manipulating the actual physical reality to fit the light reality, and the light body image in the individual is the healthy image, and the healthy image is used as the template for recreating or trying to fix or bypass the problem within the body receiving the treatment. Light body methodologies are varied throughout cultures and throughout the galaxy and the universe as well, but what is in fact part of the light body technology is a knowledge or an inherent understanding of what is and what should be in regard to the patient. And so this type of knowledge has to become part of the light body worker. And in order for that to happen, the light body worker has to be able to tune into the world, the universe, and to be able to receive the appropriate knowledge and information from the person that they're trying to heal. And for people that have done fortune telling and such like that, where they actually read the person, the aura, or even talk to the guide or the light body of the person, they're able to give information to that person and know a lot about that person just immediately. And it's the same principle that the light body healer, the light body worker is going to use, because they have to use that ability immediately to be able to see exactly what is wrong within the patient and to know what needs to be done and to do it immediately. And this is such a fast process that it's practically unbelievable, but it takes place in a step-by-step procedure that is very orderly, and it is in fact accelerated in our consciousness, so we're not actually seeing the whole thing. If you're watching a light body operation, such as a type of psychic surgery, you would not actually see much time go by. But there's a lot of time going by, because there's a lot of operations going by within this patient. And the healing process is one in which the instruments and the types of healing or surgical procedures are so small that it is impossible to really see unless you're looking through the lens into that light body reality. So taking your psychic lens and gazing into the light body reality will allow you to understand what is occurring when the healing occurs. Now, light body workers are able to use their hands in order to affect the vibration or the aura of the patient being treated. And these types of manipulations of the aura or the field are usually on the surface, yet there are many light workers that are beginning to use their abilities to penetrate into the interior of the body to be able to provide light body healing to internal organs as well. The light body physician is able to, through their hands, detect the entire situation in the body. And they don't actually need their hands, they just need to use their mind or their consciousness to be able to scan the body of the individual beings treated. They, of course, use this kind of methodology in other types of scanning, but say like in scanning their class for the first time, they would see everything in, the master would know everything about all the apprentices and their levels and their abilities and their physical abilities and everything really is available to the gaze of the master psychic surgeon. As the psychic surgeon is able to understand what is necessary or needs to be done in the particular healing, the psychic surgeon is able to, in fact, start to change the reality within the being, which means that the actual place, the actual person, starts to undergo a type of change. And this type of change is something that may give the patient qualms or uneasiness or anticipation, because they sometimes know that something's on its way, because what is happening is that there is a whole lot happening. A whole lot more than we might ever imagine is happening, because this entire process is so planned. It is so down to the detail, planned out, that one cannot really imagine the complexity. Now, in looking at a particular operation that a surgeon might do in the real world, one sees, yes, one has to cut here and tie there and this and that. But the psychic surgeon really has to rely on other means besides those physical means. And what that means is that it has, the psychic surgeon has to be able to take and do all those things in a very fast manner in another dimension, using their light body and the light body skills of others that are participating, in order to accomplish something in a fraction of a second that actually may take hours in light body time. So in this time portal that the light body worker is opening, the light body worker is opening that portal so that the work can be done through the light body worker in the light body field, the portal that is established by the light body worker. And the light body worker is able to pull in the energy through faith and strength, determination that something is going to happen. And the faith of all involved is helpful. The light body worker is someone who is able to use all those forces together in order to manifest light body work. And some people call it magic, some miracles, some say it's, bunk. But the entire light body technology is not one to deceive, but to help. And it wasn't meant as a trick, but as a trade, and something that people did as a way of life, and it is preserved in the heritage of the light body workers. And the light body workers are physicians of all times. They take the titles and places and positions through time. These men and women have served throughout time, through their families, through their tribes, through their nations and lineages, to be able to help and heal. And these light body traditions have been shared throughout the world, and though one may not know too many of them, knowing one of them or some of the best of them can lead one to light body understanding. And the light body understanding of the light body world can allow the healer, the light body healer, to do things that others that don't know how to do this type of light body thinking can't do. Light body thinking is an accelerated form of thinking that occurs when an individual can place their mind in a light body state, in a light body world, taking light body information and transferring it through the consciousness. And this is sometimes called channeling, or being a medium, or being able to use the light body informations in the oral or verbal or written or type of form. So what light body is able to do is to transfer information at a particular rate that is beyond the rate of normal consciousness, and be able to communicate in a manner that might not be available to the normal consciousness of the light body worker. The light body master, in fact, has control of various forms of their mind and consciousness, but because of the limitations of the body and various hormone levels, serotonin, melatonin, and other types of chemicals, and would cause even the master to not always have the greatest powers in the light body world, because the individual light body worker is limited by the powers or the ability and endurance of the physical body. to be able to project the light body into the world is a actual physical feat that takes a lot of energy on and out of the person doing the light body work. So they're going to be depleted. And if they're not healthy and they don't have a diet that will replenish this type of chemical and structure within them, they are going to feel depleted and not be able to do too much light body work. In fact, the exhaustion level could hit, and what also occurs is that aging occurs too fast. The mind burns out. The consciousness is not able to absorb anymore. The memory is not able to absorb anymore. And in fact, the entire system becomes clogged up if the body is not healthy. And so it is always good to keep the body healthy, the hormonal levels correct, and to plan these types of sessions so that the person is able to use the body chemicals available in order to do their light body work without exhausting the physical body.